For years, football and video games have been so closely interlinked, whether that be FIFA career modes, Pro Evolution Soccer back in the day as well, before they changed that weird eFootball one that they've got going on now, or the basis of this video, Football Manager. And when I say they're so closely linked to the whole of football, I don't just talk about those top leagues. A lot of YouTubers, for example, a lot of gamers, when they're doing saves like this, on those big games, whether that be a FIFA career mode or, as I've said, a football manager career mode, they want to do a road to glory where they might start with a side in the EFL and hope to get them to the very pinnacle of the English game and potentially even into the Champions League as well. So, as we know, Football Manager allows a lot of different gameplay in the EFL, especially in the Championship, is one of their bigger leagues, and they have millions and millions of players playing in that each year, each version of the franchise. So, what we thought we'd do here at the Real EFL ahead of the new season start, we'd see what Football Manager predicts for our 24-25 Championship season. So, let's get straight into it. And here we go then. We are now on the save that we're going to be doing this simulation on. Let me just show you a little bit around because this isn't the normal Football Manager 24 kind of starting database. If we have a little bit of a look, I mean, first of all, if you have a look at available jobs, there's some jobs available because if we go into the Championship, you will be able to see that these leagues have been updated. Burnley, for example, are now back in the Championship. Luton are also back in the Championship. Leeds are still here, and Southampton are not. Sorry to Leeds fans for mentioning that. And then obviously the same with the rest of the EFL divisions as well. These have been updated. Birmingham are in League One. Wrexham are also now in League One. Wigan and Reading both have their points deductions just because they're hard coded into the game. Not really something we can get rid of. Okay, something else that you will also notice in this database then is that there are transfers, but only those that are up to the end of June, I believe it is. So, for example, you can see here Max Lowe is a Sheffield Wednesday player. There's quite a few others in the divisions as well. We couldn't do it, unfortunately, up until like the release of this video, purely because it would have just been far too great of a job to do on the editor database. It was already big enough to do up until the end of June. But I am using a certain custom database that you can use for this, and I'm going to link that down below in the description now. But you're not really here to have a look around the start of the season. No, what you guys want to do, I'm sure, because you clicked on this video, is to have a look. Who are they predicting to be the top performers in the division? Who's going to get that automatic promotion spot? Who is winning the title? And also, who's going down? It's going to be a really interesting real life championship season. So let's see how Football Manager predicts it to go. And here we go then. So as many of you that play Football Manager will know, if you go on to one of the EFL leagues at the end of the season, the first thing that pops up is that playoff final if it has been played, and it clearly has. Luton have beaten West Brom 1-0 at Wembley to get an immediate return back to the Premier League. Is that going to be the final in real life next May? Well, that certainly could be interesting. Let's have a look at the rest of the league table. Then Leeds are the ones who have topped the division with their Red Bull money now and a little bit of a summer rebuild that they're going through under Daniel Farke. It'll be interesting, actually. We'll check managers in a minute to see whether he remained as manager there all season. Burnley in second. Now, it'll be interesting because I don't believe in this database they had a manager, so it'll be interesting to see who they brought in. But they got second. West Brom obviously finishing third then to play Luton in that final. Stoke, interestingly enough, in fourth place. So maybe Adam was a little bit wrong talking about going from the graveyard shift to the morgue. Norwich in sixth there. I'll be honest, I'm tipping Norwich to have a bit of a better season than what Football Manager are, but you can check out exactly what I'm predicting in our championship prediction video that's going to be out, I think, a week today, if I am correct on the schedule on that one. If I'm wrong, don't moan at me. Um, Carrying on a bit further down the league, got Sheffield United, who obviously in real life will be starting with a 2 point deduction. They don't have that in this database. Sure, again, as I explained earlier, with points deductions, they're hard coded into the game. We can't change those. At least I'm nowhere near that clever enough on the editor to do that. Sheffield Wednesday in 15th. They're a team who we did a video on not too long ago, which you can check out right now. That is all about how, I'll be honest, I think they've been a little bit overhyped by a lot of people in predictions. So Football Manager potentially think around the same thing in 15th place. And relegation. Portsmouth at bottom, Oxford and Plymouth stay up, controversial for some, and Swansea and Preston both going down. That is certainly some interesting ones. Right, now let's have a little bit of a look at managers, I think, first of all. So John Eustace at Blackburn, yeah. Liam Manning at Bristol City, yeah. Urs Fischer has gone to Burnley in this save. He has left Union Berlin to go to Burnley. That is certainly a bit of an interesting one. So like I say, Scott. Oh, hang on a second, actually. He has only just joined Burnley. So, what's their manager situation? Have they been out of manager all season? Right. Well, okay. That's a bit of an interesting one for Football Manager to have gone through. If we keep on having a look, are there any like major shocks? Daniel Farker still at Leeds, Rob Edwards still at Luton, Carrick still at Middlesbrough, Hoff Torp still at Norwich. I don't really think there's too many crazy ones. Luke Williams is still at Swansea, even though he sent them down. That is quite the interesting one, actually. West Brom has still got Carlos Corberan. Danny Roll is still at Sheffield Wednesday, so he's not moved on, like I predicted could potentially have been the case. Ryan Lowe still at Preston. Okay, so there's hardly been any managerial changes. So that is, again, a really interesting one on that one. Let's have a look at some of the player stats. Top goal scorer is Mr. Not Even a Real Name himself, Wout Weghorst, followed by Jacob Brown. Okay, some really interesting choices in here. Had you right down there in fifth, Gabriel Sara, I think is a real good like wonder kid, if you like, on Football Manager. I say wonder kid, he's not massively young, but you know what I mean. I've got him on one or two of my other saves. So yeah, some interesting selections in there. Crescencio Somerville, did he stay at Leeds for the full season? He has. He's currently unhappy, but he did stay at Leeds for the whole season. So that is a bit of an interesting one. Well, sort of like that. Average ratings here, and we have got Jed Wallace, the championship. Well, he's a bit of a championship cult hero, isn't he, really, Jed Wallace? So I'm not too surprised that he's up there for average ratings. And look at that. Johnny Howson, top of the assists. Michael Carrick really does know how to get the best out of his midfielders. Jed Wallace also in there for Player of the Match awards as well, which is really interesting. And we have also got Ilan Melier getting the clean sheets. So there we have it then. That is the championship table for the 24-25 season. I know it says it's 23-24 season, but we've updated it. As I explained earlier, that Football Manager are predicting. Do you guys think that this is going to be anywhere near correct come the end of the year in 12 months' time? Maybe we can revisit this video. What we can also do is take a little bit of a look at Sky Bet League 1 and Sky Bet League 2 in a couple of weekend bonus uploads. If that's something that you'd like to see, make sure to let us know down below. Like the video so that we know that that would be something that you'd be interested in. And we'll get it up. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff. And until next time, goodbye.